2, 1. Social life is good.
Excellent. All right. How are you? Happy Friday. I am Mel Robbins, and welcome to the last training of our month-long program called Best Decade Ever. I want to welcome you in. In this video, I am going to wrap up a course that we have been teaching to more than 135,000 people around the world. Literally, I don't even know how many countries are involved in this course, but I'm really proud of our global audience. I'm proud of you for being here. If you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, Best Decade Ever is a free program, and I teach you the science of dreaming big and all kinds of cool small changes you can make to make sure that your dreams come true over the course of this decade. You can still get into the course and do the course self-serve. Just go to melrobbins.com/bestdecade. And in this video, I am going to wrap up the course. I am going to answer a bunch of questions that we have. I am also going to answer the burning question, which is, oh my God, the course is over, now what? And I am going to promise you that unlike every other influencer on the planet, I am not going to pressure you to buy a coaching program or to attend to something. This course was literally my gift and my team's gift to you. We want you to dream bigger. We love the fact that you're a part of our community, and we did this free course as a way to give something to you so that you could kick off 2020 and be in the best position to make this next decade the best decade of your life. And for those of you that don't know me, I am the author of the 5-Second Rule. This is our brand new cover. I'm super proud of it. The 5-Second Rule is a self-published book. It is in 36 countries, in 32 languages. It has sold over 1 million copies, and it is the highest selling self-published audiobook in the history of audiobooks, something else that I'm really proud of. And more importantly, this book right here, the 5-Second Rule, has changed the lives of millions of people. We know of almost 100 people who have reached out to us who have not committed suicide because they've used the 5-Second Rule. We know of pediatricians using it to treat kids with anxiety. We know of veterans organizations using it to help vets manage the triggers associated with PTSD. I personally believe that you change your life in 5 seconds because there is a 5-second window between a moment that you hesitate and actually taking action. And we're going to cover today what are the actions that you can take now that the Best Decade course is coming to a close. Because I think it's really critical in your life to go from being somebody who is thinking about what you need to do and becoming the kind of person that is a courageous doer in your life. And there's a couple housekeeping things that I want to cover. In fact, I have a request. This may sound weird, but given that there are 135,000 of you in this course, I thought, screw it, I'll just ask you for this. I'm trying to put together a video that shows all of the 5-Second Rule tattoos that are out there. We have received so many photos of those of you that have gotten tattoos because of the 5-Second Rule, whether it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or it says 5-Second Rule, or it says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with a rocket, or it's the number 5, or it's 5 seconds, whatever it is. If you have gotten a tattoo, or you had a bracelet made, or you had a sign made, would you mind sending me a photo of it? You can send it to social@melrobbins. It's right there on the chyron below me on the lower third, social@melrobbins. By sending me the photo, please also give me your name so we can give you a little credit, or so that if we have to get a release, we can contact you. But you could be featured in a really cool video or in one of the speeches that I give in stages around the world. The next speech that I'm giving, there are 9,000 people in the audience. The speech after that has 14,000 people in the audience. And your tattoo, your bracelet, your sign, however it is that you've used the 5-Second Rule in your life, could be inspiring other people to make courageous change in their life too. So that's a personal ask from me to you. So will you let me know before I jump into the Q&A and I answer some of the basic questions that we're getting. Where are you watching from? And if you have a question, please ask your questions in the comments because we may just get to them. And in case you're wondering, yep, these are brand new glasses. I don't know if you like them or not. I don't really care if you do because I actually love them. They make me feel about, I'd say 50 points higher on the IQ scale. There's something about matte black sciencey glasses that make you immediately nerd chic up. Can I get some thumbs up for that, right? Lots of thumbs up. What's that? Yes?
That's a heart.
So, anyway, thank you for the compliment that I just begged you for. Okay, so the biggest question that we've been asking is what happens now that Best Decade is over? Well, first of all, it's never over because you just started the decade, my friend. And I want you to know that everything that you have learned in the Best Decade Ever course is yours. You get to keep it. The videos are all on YouTube. The emails that we have been sending you every day, they're yours. And so anytime that you feel stuck, anytime that you feel like you have fallen, anytime that you get kicked off the course, just come back to the course material. Start it over. Seriously, print out the workbook again. If you want to get into the course, it's melrobbins.com/bestdecade. Also, the Facebook group that we're in, there's 51,000 of you in this Facebook group associated with this course. We are going to keep that Facebook group open. At some point in the future, we may close it, but for now, we are going to keep it open. It will be a place where we will be launching a lot of new content. It'll be a place where we will go first, that in our texting platform and our newsletter list, to announce opportunities to do cool projects with us, to win things. And so if you're not in the Facebook group, just go to Facebook and search Mel Robbins Best Decade. You have to ask to be let in. It is a free course. We have to manually let you in, so just be patient, okay, because there's 51,000 of you in it. But you should understand that everything that you have learned in this course is foundational. Whether we're talking about the science of dreaming big, and why writing down your 5 dreams every day is a really important thing for your brain and for you to be able to train yourself to think more expansively. You also learned in this course what your limiting beliefs are, the beliefs that make you dream small, and the fears that keep you held back. We also talked about your friend group and why it's really important that you surround yourself with a gang of 5 people. And we talked about the 5 kinds of people that you need in your life and why those people are so important for your dreams. We talked about strategies for how you deal with negative people in your life and what to do when the people that are closest to you, your family, your partner, your best friends, are not supportive of your dreams, and how to build boundaries and force fields. And then finally, we gave you a toolkit that you can use that are foundational habits. These are keystone habits. These are the atomic habits. This is the book that everybody's reading right now. All these habits are the same, by the way. It's the small things that you come back to every single day in order to keep your life inching forward, in order to help you dream big, and in order to help you go for your dreams and pursue them. Remember, this is not a course about 1 month. This is a course about opening your mind to the possibilities that you could achieve if you allow yourself to dream on a scale as big as 10 years. I think the biggest lesson for me in doing this course, and this is a really personal lesson, is that your dreams are not meant to be achieved and gripped tightly. Your dreams serve a critical purpose in your life. Your dreams are meant to be pursued. And what I have learned firsthand in my life is that when you pursue your dreams, your whole life opens up in ways that you can't even imagine. And I have also learned firsthand that achieving your dreams is just a moment. That's it. That's all that it is. And the second that you've achieved your dreams and you grip onto them too tightly, it's like they dissipate and disappear in your hands. The art of all of this, everybody, is the pursuit of your dreams. And, one of the things that's happened in this course is when I started this course, I was very open about the fact that one of my biggest dreams ever since I was like yay high growing up in Western Michigan, was to host a daytime talk show. And I launched this course having achieved my dream. I have a daytime talk show. It is on 5 days a week in the United States. And you can find it by going to melrobinsshow.com, and you'll be able to find your local listing. We're on nationwide. I'm incredibly proud of this show. I achieved my childhood dream, and I joined the ranks of a very small group of people with singular names like Ellen and Oprah and Phil and Steve and Rachel, and it goes on and on and on. And so I literally am part of this small group of people who can say they had a daytime syndicated show on national television. And what's fascinating is during the course of leading a class with you and teaching you how to achieve your biggest dreams and pursue them, I found out that we're not going to go to season 2. The show is on air until the middle of September, which is amazing. It has been the experience of a lifetime. And so I am now in the same place that so many of you are in. I'm now in the mode of dreaming big again. And I'm in the mode of figuring out, what am I going to pivot to next? Because you're never starting over. You're always continuing. You're never starting over. You're always continuing with experience. It's never a failure, because everything that happened in pursuing this dream, whether it turned out the way you thought or not, it has prepared you for what you're going to do next. I have been telling you that ever since I started this journey in daytime television 18 months ago. And I believe that more sitting here right now talking to you than when I first said it 18 months ago. That it's never about your dream. And specifically in my case, it was never about a daytime talk show. It was about growing and pursuing something that I dreamt about and doing it in service and in an attempt to make a deep and profound impact, which I know in my heart and in my soul that I have done. So you could say I failed because we're not going to season 2. I don't say that. I say I pursued it, I achieved it, and all dreams that you achieve disappear once you grab them. And then that means it opens up a door. What happens when a door closes? Walk down the hall and kick in another one. That's what you do. And that's what I'm going to do now. And so how am I going to do that? I'll tell you what. I'm going to go back to week 1, best decade ever, and I'm going to start dreaming again. Because what I've realized in dreaming is that there's a lot that I truly want to do that I've been afraid to write down. There's a lot that I've been wanting to take on in my business, whether it's events, which, if you've been following me for a while, we don't do events. We do online courses. You can hire me privately to speak. I have a daytime television show. We reach almost 2.5 million people a day online with free content. I write books. I do a ton of stuff with Audible, but I don't do events. We're going to do events. That's a big dream of mine, to do events. There's other things that are going to happen. And so just because you're not where you're at, that does not mean it's over. I want you to hear this loud and clear. How many of you started Best Decade Ever? And if you're honest with yourself, you're not proud of where you are right now. You're frustrated. You feel like you failed. You feel like you let yourself down. I'm sure we're getting a bunch of thumbs up on this one. That's okay. That's okay. You see, the secret is not beating yourself up. The secret is accepting where you are and making a choice, making a decision to dig in and do more. That's the secret. There's no kind of magic bullet here. There's no magic medicine here. You get what you're willing to work for. And it's fine that you didn't do the course every day. It's fine if your dream didn't turn out in a month. It's fine if you picked a theme for this year and you've already switched. There's just more work to do. That's it. And beating yourself up and making yourself wrong, I'm going to tell you what, it only does one thing. It keeps you stuck. And that thinking is a fucking pattern, and it needs to end. And that's where you need to do the work. And so if you're sitting here watching this training and you're disappointed with where you are and you're judging yourself, the message for you is you got to stop fucking doing that, because that's the problem. The problem is you keep pounding yourself with judgment. And if you're busy holding yourself back with that much judgment and that much self-loathing, you're never going to move forward. So you got to learn how to stop that right now. Let me think, what else? Where do I want to go? Do we have any questions from our audience that we want? Do we have anybody from LinkedIn? I'm not sure I've taken a question from LinkedIn ever. And we're one of the few people that can stream on LinkedIn.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, we have?
Yeah,
oh, we have?
for sure.
Okay, cool.
I think no, that one's from text.
Okay.
Let's look
We're
at
gonna, if you're on LinkedIn watching, this is your chance, because I'm looking for a question from LinkedIn. But go ahead and shout out another question. Or some of the countries that are watching. Go ahead.
We got Kenya,
Kenya?
Australia,
Australia?
as always, our favorites.
As always. India, yes.
The UK,
UK.
South Africa,
South Africa.
Brazil,
Brazil.
Venezuela.
Hi, Venezuela. How you doing? And it goes on and on and on and on and on.
Absolutely.
I have some questions here, but does anybody want to throw out a question from the comments?
LinkedIn is getting there. We're on like a 25-second delay.
Gotcha. Okay, so
So we're
LinkedIn,
gonna-
you're a little behind. They're probably having to put a swear kind of filter on me.
The
DJs.
last question on that briefing, the last one,
Yeah.
was from our text platform, and I thought that was really good. I think it's from Shar.
Okay. Shar says, every time I think I've found my calling, I start out strong and then lose interest. I studied to become a linguist, a lawyer, an art appraiser, and a college counselor, but I've never translated that into a career. Once I finish the schooling, I lose all interest. Have I just not found the right career yet? I'm confused and stuck. Well, how many of you can relate to this? You feel like you lose interest in the thing you pursue. You're super passionate, and then you flame out. And then you're super passionate, and then you flame out. And then you're super passionate, and then you flame out. Here's what's interesting about that pattern. Number one, it's a pattern. And sometimes patterns are broken, and sometimes patterns are just patterns. And when it comes to somebody who gets really fired up about something, and then you immerse yourself, and then you lose interest, here's what I know about you. You are basically, have you ever seen a hummingbird fly? Where it goes, zoo, 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 and it goes from like one flower to another flower to another flower to another. That's what you are in life. And that's okay. What that tells me is you're an incredibly curious person. And I'm the exact same way, by the way. I bet I've changed careers like 23 times. And I'm about to change careers again, because for the last year, I have been a daytime syndicated talk show here in the United States. And come the end of September, when my show stops airing on television, I will have reinvented myself again. Why? Not because I'm a failure, not because I'm losing interest, but because I'm constantly interested in learning. And so, number one, stop making yourself wrong if you dart from one thing to the next. Number two, find the power in that pattern. And the power in that pattern is that you're energized by learning new things. The power in that pattern is you're a curious person. And so if you truly do want to find something and stick to it, I would consider either an industry or a role where you're always going to be learning something, or I would consider going into teaching, where your intellectual curiosity can help you deepen your knowledge of things and continue to bring a new approach to it. But that kind of interest that comes and goes and fades, that's not a flaw, that's a strength. And you got to put that to your advantage and stop beating yourself up. Maybe you're never supposed to have a career. Maybe your life is going to be an amazing collection of experiences that all stack up into one of the most amazing journeys on the planet. Because unless you're going to do a career that requires a very deep technical skill set, whether you're going to be an engineer, whether you're going to be a doctor, whether you're going to be a physicist, whether you're going to be a chemist, whether you're going to be something that requires technical expertise, one thing to remember is every single thing you do in the career vertical is building a skill or an experience or a network of people that you take into the next thing that you do. And so stop beating yourself up, embrace the hummingbird pattern in yourself, and either find a career that allows you to learn lots of new things all the time and have new experiences all the time, or get into a mode of celebrating this curiosity in you. All right, any questions from our community?
We actually have a LinkedIn one.
LinkedIn,
Yeah.
here we go.
Brittany on LinkedIn.
Brittany.
What do you suggest doing when you can't come up with your big goals that aren't generic, like be a millionaire, retire early? I'm really struggling to find my passion and purpose.
Ooh, what do you do if you can't come up with your big goals that give you passion and purpose? So here's what you do when you feel stuck about finding your big goals. I want you to do I'm going to give you 2 exercises. And we talked about these, by the way, in the program Best Decade Ever, which you can find at melrobbins.com/bestdecade. Number 1, use the jealousy test. I love this test. I want you to look around and out in the world and ask yourself, who am I jealous of? Jealousy is an incredibly powerful tool because it signals an energy inside of you, this shift inside of you when you see what somebody else is doing that is signaling, I want that. Now here's how you use jealousy productively. You need to unpack it. So you gotta, once you identify who are you jealous of, you gotta unpack it and ask yourself, what exactly are you jealous of? It's easy to be jealous of people with millions of dollars, and it's easy to be jealous of people that got all kinds of fancy stuff, travel all the time. It's easy to be jealous of people that are big in life. But what is it exactly that you're jealous of? And don't pick the financial freedom part of it, because I think we all want that. But I want you to pick, what is it about their day-to-day life and what they focus on that stirs that in you. And if you unpack that, you're going to start to get clues that will signal to you what you need to start investigating. That's number 1. You can come at it a second way, which is think about the things in your life that you've done that really energize you. What does energize mean? It means, a lot of people say you do it for free. I say it a different way. When you think about doing it, something inside you opens up. You look forward to it. That is also a clue. So I agree with you. Stop with the big, broad goals and dig a little bit deeper to find the data and the clues that are stirring and stimulating something that's naturally inside you. Yes, you got another one?
Yeah, this is from Annie on our community text platform.
Annie, so happy you're on our community texting platform.
I know what I'm good at. For example, I'm funny, I teach dance, I'm a good writer, I'm an educator, and I'm good at public speaking. I really want to help people, but how do you take your talents and make a big dream out of it?
So Annie's really good at speaking, at dance, at inspiring people. She's funny. Sounds like she's hardworking. She's passionate. How do you take all those things and, what was it, turn it into a big dream?
Yes.
You know what I think the best example of this is right now? I cannot overemphasize the power of positivity, the power of enthusiasm. You don't have to know where something is leading in order to show up and be the most enthusiastic, powerful, infectious version of yourself. And I'm going to give you an example that I think everybody on the planet can relate to. So if you have not watched the series Cheer on Netflix, please run, don't walk. It's awesome. And one of the reasons why it's awesome is because there is a character on this reality series that follows a junior college cheerleading squad all the way to nationals. There's a character on this named Jerry. Now, you may have stumbled upon Jerry because Ellen has now picked him up. I wouldn't be surprised if he signed a development deal with her. She asked him to be a correspondent at the Oscars. Like, this is a kid at a junior college doing cheerleading. His name is Jerry. He's got a incredibly, I don't even know what he's got, like when you watch his backstory, you're going to be moved. and sad about what this kid has overcome and endured in his life. But the thing that happens when you watch this kid, Jerry, is he explodes off that screen because he is the most positive. He is the most cheerful. He is the most enthusiastic person on that team. And he's by far not the best one on the team in terms of skills. In fact, he's not part of the core team in the beginning. But he is cheering from the sidelines. And there is something about enthusiasm that we have undersold in our culture. There is nothing more infectious than somebody that brings a level of enthusiasm to everything that they're doing. And so number one, I would watch Cheer on Netflix, and I would pay attention to Jerry, and I would then watch what's happening to him in his life because of the light that he shines. And I would go back into your own life, given that it sounds like you do a whole lot of stuff, and I would dial up the enthusiasm. I can guess by your question, Annie, that you're already doing everything that you should be doing. You're following people that inspire you and that are doing big things that you want to be doing. You are copying what they're doing in small ways. Now I want you to tune up the enthusiasm and see what kind of momentum and what kind of virality that triggers in your life. Awesome. All right. You have another one?
Yeah, this is from Marilyn.
Marilyn?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm always saying that I'm paralyzed by fear of being judged by others, but something you said made me think that I'm the one who's judging myself. How do I get past that? How do I start believing in myself instead of judging myself?
This is an incredible question. So Marilyn asked, I always thought it was fear of other people judging me, but based on watching our videos and listening to what I'm saying, it's occurred to Marilyn, and it should occur to you, that you're actually the one that's judging yourself. It's not other people, it's your own judgment. How do you start to believe in yourself? How do you move past that fear? There's only one way to do it, because you're talking about being somebody who is stuck thinking. How you go from being a person that thinks and gets stuck to becoming a courageous doer. And the only way you do it is action. I can give you an example. You know, one of the things that I have come to admit to myself is that I really do want to do events. And I have for a long time actively said, I'm not going to do events. I'm not going to do events. I don't want to do events. There are plenty of events. I don't want to do events. Events are a pain in the ass. You know, events are part of a pyramid scheme. Events are tough because you got to get everybody there and then you got to sell them something else, and that's not what I'm about. I really don't want to do events. And here's what I've come to terms with. Deep in my core, I have a belief. Wait to hear this, everybody. I have a belief that if I throw an event and I charge a ticket price, no one will show up. And it seems ludicrous to everybody around me. I mean, there's 131,000 people in this course, for crying out loud. We have people show up for the talk show twice a day, every day. But it's my fear that's holding me back. I see my husband in the periphery. Chris, come here. It's my fear that's holding me back. And it's a deep fear that if I put myself out there in that way, no one will buy a ticket and no one will come. And that's an old story. It's an old story that I don't fit in. I'm not part of the group. I'm not one of the cool kids. I'm not part of a girl gang. I'm like an outsider. I don't have a big circle of friends in the industry. I'm not an inside. Like, it's a gigantic story that I realize that I have about myself, that I am using to judge myself. It is holding me back. It is so limiting. It is the thing that is in the middle of me and my dreams. And so the thing that you need to do now that you've had the realization that you're the one judging yourself is you have to recognize what is the way that you judge yourself. What is your deepest fear? And what is the one thing that you need to commit to doing? Being a courageous doer. Now, don't get stopped by fear and thinking. You've got to become a courageous doer. What's the one thing that you need to do that will tell this fear, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway? Because I'm still scared that if I throw an event and I charge you a price to come, that you won't come. But in order to become a courageous doer in my life and to not believe my own bullshit, there's only one way to do it, and that's to say, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just do it. I'm going to go for it. I'm gonna throw a big event. I'm gonna charge whatever I'm gonna charge. And by actually committing and doing the work, even if none of you show up, even if I'm looking at a sea of empty seats, I will have still beaten my fear. I will still, and you know who I admire the most? Who does this is my husband. Chris, come here. He's so reluctant. He's like in his sweats from this morning at the gym. Christopher Robbins.
Where am I going here?
I don't know. Now everyone's seeing your ass. Okay, get down. Can you get down? Where is he?
Get
Is
down.
he in the? Is he in the
So he's
thing?
good on social live. Move over for Instagram. Yeah.
So Chris
That's good.
Robbins. The one thing that I admire about you is you don't. Where in your life? Because you're the founder of a men's retreat called Soul Degree, and you started. Like what I admire about Chris is that he decided that he wanted to start a retreat for men because it was missing in his own life. Just like how many of you feel like there's something missing in your own life and you want to start a business around it, or you want to start some sort of something around it? You want to go make an impact around it. Are we getting some thumbs up here? So that was Chris Robbins. What did you see a need for?
Just to connect with men in away from where we're normally just busy and distracted in life.
And by connect, what do you mean? That sounds really weird.
It does sound weird, but literally just hear their perspective, be in their company.
Yeah, but why?
Because I think guys just live in their own heads. They're just constantly caught up in their own thinking, in their own minds, trapped. Not necessarily trapped, but just certainly not. It's not a natural reaction to go share what's going on in their head.
Got it. So you wanted to create an experience, which you did. You were literally like, fuck it. This thing that I want to do doesn't exist. I'm going to go create something called Soul Degree. How terrifying was it to put that out there and not know if anybody was going to show up?
Very.
Did people show up?
Of course, yes, they did. I shouldn't say of course, because I wondered, but yes, they did.
And, you know, the other thing that I admire about you, and I know a million of you are going to ask, so don't ask me, ask him about his stuff. Go to souldegree.com if you want information about it, because I'm sure, you guys are doing retreats this year, right? Like
Yes.
3 or 4 of them. There's information on his website, don't ask me about it. Go to Chris. But there's something else that you're doing that I really admire. Stay right here, hold the fort down. You're gonna kill me. Because this is how you beat the fears that are holding you back. You ready?
Oh my God.
He's gonna kill me, okay? This is how you beat the fear that's holding you back. Yes, we're all concerned about what other people think, but I think Marilyn's right. What you're primarily concerned about is your own bullshit and your own judgment and your own I'm not worthy and who am I and nobody's gonna show up and what. And when you think, what are my friends gonna think? What you're actually thinking is, I'm such a piece of shit or I'm so not good enough. You've already concluded that they're gonna judge you. So you've already judged yourself because you believe these people are gonna feel that same way about you. It's all about you. So Chris, let me just tell you something about this man right here. He has been meditating and journaling every day for years?
5.
5 years?
Well, the writing probably for 5, yeah.
Jesus, you're disciplined. That's unbelievable. We are literally opposites. You are so disciplined. And so I have been saying to Chris, all this journaling you're doing, and what are you going to do? And you have been thinking for how long about turning it into a book?
Same amount of time.
5 years. So you've been writing for 5 years. You've been thinking about turning it into a book for 5 years. And what has held you back? What self-imposed fear and limitation has held you back?
Just the belief that who am I to write a book? And God knows, do we really need another book?
What else? What else? How many of you that want to write a book can relate to this? What else? Somebody's already said what I'm gonna write.
Yeah.
I don't know how to write a book.
My message, my words, my messages will be redundant.
Let's see. What else do you think? No one will buy it.
Yeah, thinking a little less about that.
I'm
but-
embarrassed to put it out there because it's not going to be that good.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say. This is really inspiring.
Yeah.
This is the kind of bullshit that keeps you trapped in your head thinking about your dreams for 5 years. Meanwhile, the guy is writing for 5 years, but never fully committing to doing a book. So what pushed you over the edge? Because we're talking about the self-imposed fears and limitations that we put on our own dreams. Like, it's not really about everyone else. We say we're terrified of what other people think, but it's our own judgments and opinions about ourselves.
I think it's really, well, for the book, it's just, if not now, when?
Okay. We also need to give credit to the fact that Cynthia Morris, who is a writing coach that Jonathan Fields, the author, best-selling author and friend of ours, recommended. But with Cynthia's push, you made a decision. And I want to show you what moving from thinking about something for 5 years and being trapped in your own bullshit and moving to being a courageous doer looks like. My manuscript will be complete by December 15, 2020. This sucker hangs over Chris Robbins' desk. Why are you looking at me like that?
It does hang. And it shall be.
Okay, so what is making a decision and getting into action due to the fear that you have?
I think it just shrinks it. It even eliminates it because there's no more room for the fear. Once you put it out there, you just, and it isn't there anymore. It's just the act of writing and being in action that eliminates the fear, I think.
That's the solution to any fear you have. You get in action. You basically say, fuck you. I see you fear, I feel you fear, fuck you. I'm gonna sit down and write this book now. Go bother somebody else. Anything else you wanna say?
No. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks for stopping by, Mr. Soul Degree. Okay. Thanks, babe. All right. Anyone else?
Good.
No, we're good?
Yep.
Oh, okay, great. So where do we go from here? What do you do? I want to remind you this is not an end. This is a continuation. You have absolutely everything you need right here. Best decade ever. You've got all, tell you what, are we going to send out like a final email?
Yes.
We'll send out a final.
It's being drafted now.
Mandy, we are sending out a final email. If you're not on the list, get your ass on the list. melrobbins.com/bestdecade. Get into the Facebook group, which just go to Facebook, Mel Robbins Best Decade, search for it, and then we have to manually let you in when you request it. And we're going to send out an email that literally just gives you a link to this training. It'll give you a link to the playlist on YouTube. It'll give you a link to the, whatever the hell this is called, the workbook. And you can use it forever to unhinge yourself. Here's the other thing. I'm really, really, really excited that you're here because we have so many incredible things that are ramping up. We have, I can't tell you what's in store, but I'll tell you, one door closes, another one, and another one, and another one just flew wide open. And the kind of programming that we're going to be doing in the near future is going to blow your mind. The big new book that we're working on that's going to come out in January is going to blow your mind. What else should I be mentioning? We just have so much shit going on, it's unbelievable. If you, by the way, have never read the 5-Second Rule book, get your butt to Audible, because if you do a free trial with Audible and you sign up for their 3-month free trial, You can listen to the 5-second rule for free. That's right, you heard me, for free when you sign up for a free trial. And if you have not gotten this, it's the perfect thing to give to somebody who's stuck. If you haven't read it, you should read it because it is the tool that you need to help you go from thinking to being a courageous doer. It's the tool you need to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fuck you, fair. Watch me do this. It's the tool that you need to interrupt any habit that's holding you back. And that is one thing that I hope that you understand about the work that I do. I am teaching you about the patterns that you have created in your mind and in your behavior, either learned or trained by somebody else that are holding you back. And the good news about patterns is once you recognize them, you can change them. So if you're not on our newsletter list, please join the 500,000 people that are on it. We do not spam you. We're lucky if we get an email out once a week. If you want to be on our texting platform, you're the first to know about anything that's going on. To get on our newsletter list, just go to melrobbins.com and it's right there on the homepage. But otherwise, just follow us on social media and you will be completely in the loop. And if you're on YouTube, I suggest that you subscribe to our videos. I don't know if I have to point here or where I am on the page, but I think if I'm thinking about the screen and my dyslexia is swapping it, it maybe is up in this direction. Hit the subscribe because then our videos, or maybe it's right here, right there. Apparently it's right here. Thank you for that. And you'll have our videos that are releasing now every single day come up in your queue so you don't miss a thing. I want to thank you for trusting me and my team. I want to thank you for being a part of Best Decade Ever. We will pop into this group with new videos all the time. We'll keep you posted about what's coming up next. In the meantime, the best way to reach me is social media and by reading our newsletter. And if you do have a photo of a tattoo or a bracelet or a necklace or a sign that you have created using the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are willing to let me use that photo and celebrate you on social media or in a speech, please email it to social@melrobbins.com. social@melrobbins.com. I think it's right down there now. Boy, this team is unbelievable. I think that's it. In case nobody else has told you today, let me be the one to tell you that I believe in you and your ability to change your life. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here cheering for you. That is the intent behind every single book that we write, every piece of content that we put out, every speech that I give, every television show that airs. I am on a mission to inspire you, to empower you, and to encourage you to move from thinking to being a courageous doer in your life, to take control of the things that are weighing you down, and to really squeeze the most that you can out of your amazing life. That's it. I love you. I'll see you